According to some estimates, there are more than 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Around 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began with the Big Bang, and over billions of years, stars, galaxies, and planets were formed. Among them is our Milky Way galaxy, and inside it is our home Earth, which formed around 4.5 billion years ago. Since then, countless species have appeared and disappeared, including the dinosaurs, which once dominated the planet. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck Earth and triggered a global catastrophe that contributed to the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs. Millions of years later, humans appeared and completely transformed the planet. We built cities, roads, factories, skyscrapers, airports, power plants, and aircraft. Today, more than 8 billion people live on Earth. But what would happen if every human suddenly disappeared? The changes would begin almost immediately. Thousands of aircraft would eventually crash because there would be no pilots or air traffic controllers. Cars, buses, and trains would be abandoned, while roads and cities would become completely silent. Power grids would gradually fail because power plants require human monitoring, fuel, repairs, and maintenance. As electricity disappeared, cities around the world would become dark, and for the first time in thousands of years, the night sky would reveal countless stars hidden by light pollution. Underground railway systems and tunnels would slowly begin filling with groundwater because the pumps that keep them dry would eventually stop. Animals trapped inside zoos, farms, laboratories, and shelters would face starvation, while some escaped animals would have to fight for survival in the wild. After several weeks and months, many industrial facilities and power plants would begin deteriorating. Fires, equipment failures, and other accidents could occur. But nature would become the biggest force shaping the future. Within a few years, grass and plants would begin growing through cracks in roads and buildings. After around 25 years, many roads and sidewalks could be covered by vegetation, while abandoned buildings would slowly disappear beneath vines and trees. After several decades, air pollution would decline significantly in many regions, and wildlife would begin returning to places once controlled by humans. Around 100 years later, many buildings, bridges, dams, and other structures would begin collapsing because nobody would be there to maintain them. Over the next few centuries, forests, wetlands, rivers, and wildlife would reclaim large parts of the planet. Modern cities would gradually turn into ruins, and wild animals would begin living in places where millions of humans once lived. After around 500 to 600 years, many cities could become almost unrecognizable, while Earth would appear greener and darker from space. Thousands of years later, only some of the strongest human monuments might remain, such as parts of ancient stone structures and massive walls. But over millions of years, even these traces would slowly disappear. Continents would move, mountains would rise and erode, oceans would change, and completely new species would evolve. After hundreds of millions of years, there might be almost no obvious evidence that humans ever existed. An intelligent species arriving on Earth in the distant future might never know that we once built enormous cities, traveled through space, reached the moon, and transformed the planet. And perhaps that is the most fascinating lesson of all. Earth does not need humans to survive. Humans need Earth. If we disappeared tomorrow, the planet would continue without us. Nature would recover, life would evolve, and eventually humanity could become nothing more than a forgotten chapter in Earth's enormous history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.